Welcome to classes by Inspire Physics. Today we are going to see an important phenomenon known as electromagnetic induction. Basics of this phenomenon, electromagnetic induction, we have seen in 10th standard. Here in 12th standard, we have a detailed study of electromagnetic induction. Now we have to start with the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Now what is electromagnetic induction? See, if we have a magnetic field, whenever the magnetic field changes with respect to a closed circuit, in a closed coil, if the magnetic field changes, an EMF will be induced in that closed circuit. In the closed coil, EMF will be induced. So current will be induced. Okay, if it is closed, current can flow in the circuit. So current will be induced in the external circuit. This phenomenon is known as electromagnetic induction. It was first observed by Henry. And a detailed study was conducted by Faraday, Michael Faraday. He has formulated law also. So according to Faraday's law, the EMF induced is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux. So surrounding a magnet, there will be magnetic flux. When we move the magnetic flux, when we move the magnetic field, when we move the magnet with respect to the coil, the magnetic flux undergo change. When we move the coil, when we move the magnet towards the coil, the magnetic flux increases. When we move the magnet away from the coil, magnetic field or magnetic flux decreases. Say during this increase or decrease in the magnetic flux, an EMF will be induced in the closed circuit. This phenomenon is called electromagnetic induction. Okay, we'll see an example to understand this. Suppose we have a magnet. We have a magnet, bar magnet. The north pole is here and south pole. See, these are the directional field lines. From north pole, lines are going out. Okay, I'm not drawing all the field lines, only a few field lines. Now we have a coil placed here. So this is a coil. Okay. So it is approaching. The magnet is moving like this. So when the magnet is moving like this, it is approaching the coil. What happens? The magnetic flux linked to the coil increases. There's an increase in magnetic flux. Now what happens is an EMF is induced in the closed circuit. It means we can say a current will flow in the closed circuit, in the closed loop. Okay. Now opposite also can be observed. Means we have the magnet, north pole of the magnet. We are moving away. See the magnet, north and south pole. These are the field lines of the magnet. The field lines. We are moving the magnet in the opposite direction. This is a coil which we place. Okay, this is a coil. Now what we are doing? We are moving it away. What happens? When we move the magnet away from the coil, the magnetic flux linked to the coil decreases. So in both cases, there will be change in magnetic flux. In first case, there will be an increase in magnetic flux. In second case, there will be a decrease in magnetic flux. In both cases, what happens is that there will be a change in magnetic flux. Now what is produced? An induced current will be produced in this coil. A current will start to flow in the coil. Through the coil, a current will start to flow. This phenomenon is known as electromagnetic induction. It was first observed by Henry. Now we'll start what is Faraday's law. According to Faraday, the induced EMF is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux. See, there is a change in magnetic flux. If d phi is a change in magnetic flux, I can say d phi b. What is the rate of change of magnetic flux? It is a d phi b by dt. This is the rate of change of magnetic flux. See, the induced EMF is directly proportional, or we can say it is equal. The induced EMF is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux, that is d phi by dt. This is Faraday's law. Okay, so according to Faraday, the induced EMF is directly proportional to, or it increases with the change in magnetic flux. Whenever the magnetic flux increases, change in magnet increases. If there is a large flux connected to the closed circuit, whenever the flux connected increases, or whenever the flux connected decreases, during both cases there will be change in flux. This change in flux will produce an EMF. This is called Faraday's law. Okay, so we have seen what is Faraday's law. Now we will see Lenz's law. Lenz's law also related to this Faraday's law, but Lenz's law is giving the direction of the induced current. See, in the closed circuit, current can flow in two ways. Current can either flow in this direction or in the opposite direction. In which direction the current will flow? That is given by Lenz's law. Now, Lenz's law states that the direction of induced current is such that it opposes the cause producing it. See, who is producing the induced current? The change in magnetic flux. That's a cause. See, when magnet is approaching, the magnetic flux increases. That's the increase in magnetic flux. That is a cause. Okay. So, induced current should flow in such a manner that it should oppose the cause. How it can oppose the cause? We will see here. Okay. Now, a north pole is coming towards this. North pole is approaching. North pole of the magnet is approaching the coil. When north pole is approaching, see this face. This is the face of the coil facing the north pole. Okay. So, in this face facing the north pole is approaching. Since north pole is approaching, it should repel the north. It should oppose. So, at this side we need a north pole. On the facing side, if this is the facing side, when north pole is approaching, at the facing side what we need? We need a north pole to repel it. How north pole can produce on this side? If induced current is there, induced current should flow in anti-clockwise direction. See, for a coil we can draw like this. If we have a circular coil, if current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction, okay, we can write like this. This is north pole. Okay, north pole will make current flow in anti-clockwise direction. See, if current is flowing in clockwise direction, this is clockwise direction. See, this is south pole. This side will be south pole. So, south pole is making clockwise current. See, here north pole is approaching. When north pole is approaching, the coil should produce induced current. Induced current flow in anti-clockwise direction. So that this side will be north pole. Okay. So, in this case, what's the direction? We have anti-clockwise direction at this side, which is facing. This side is facing the north pole. So, like this. If this is a coil, for the facing side, there will be north pole. Means we have current flowing in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Now, see, when north pole is moving away, according to Lenz's law, the induced current is produced such that it opposes the cause. See, north pole is going away. The flux linked to the coil goes on decreasing. The flux decreases. Okay, flux decreases means what it needs to do, the induced current should flow such that it produces south pole in order to attract the north pole. It should oppose. North pole is going away. It needs to attract the north pole. It should not allow the north pole to go away. So, this coil should attract. For the coil to attract the north pole, it needs a south pole here. For south pole, we need a current in clockwise direction. So, in this case, current will flow in the clockwise direction. When current flows in clockwise direction, it can create a south pole here. It can attract see, we have a south pole here. Okay, we have a south pole here. And here we will have a north pole like this. This north pole will repel the north pole. The south pole will attract the north pole. In this manner, it will, in this case, this north pole is repelled away since it is coming towards. Here north pole is going away, it will attract. South pole will attract. So, this is called Lenz's law. According to Lenz's law, the direction of induced current is such that it should oppose the cause producing it. Here the cause is the movement of the magnet. The change in magnetic flux. Here increase in magnetic flux, here decrease in magnetic flux. So, it is opposing. So, when we consider that concept of opposing, we can give a negative sign also. Here E is equal to minus d phi by dt. These are the laws known as Faraday's law and Lenz's law. Okay. Now we have a few equations connected with this. See, we have the equation of induced EMF. If we have a coil, if we consider a coil like this, we have a coil. A coil is connected. It is connected in a closed circuit. Okay, suppose we have a resistor here. The coil is made up of a good conductor and we have a resistor R. So what happens? Whenever there is change in flux, a current will be produced. So let this be the current. I is the current flowing through the resistor. Now we know that E is equal, we have the equation induced EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt. Okay. What is voltage? How voltage is related to current and resistance? V is equal to I into R. So I can write I into R is equal to, I just take the modulus d phi by dt, only the positive value. What is induced current? induced current is equal to 1 by R into d phi by dt. This is the equation for induced current during electromagnetic induction. Now we know that current is equal to rate of change of electric charge, the flow of electric charge. So we can write, instead of I can write dq by dt. dq by dt is equal to 1 by R into d phi by dt. Okay. See what happens here. The dt I can cancel. Comparing these two, what I can write, dq is equal to, the change in charge is equal to d phi by R. This is expression for a charge flowing through the closed circuit whenever there is change in magnetic flux associated with the closed circuit. So that's about electromagnetic induction, and we have seen two laws, Faraday's law and Lenz's law. Actually, Lenz's law is related to conservation of energy. See, when you bring north pole towards this, it will experience a repulsion. Who is moving the north pole externally? Suppose we are moving the north pole. There's a repulsion. We need to spend more energy to push it inside. Okay, so the energy which you spent will be converted to electric energy. So what we can say, it is related to law of conservation of energy also. Okay, now we'll see one more topic. See, when we move a conducting material in a magnetic field, it will produce an EMF across the conductor. If this is a conductor, if we move this conductor in a magnetic field such that it cut the magnetic flux, then across the ends there will be an EMF induced. That is called a motional EMF. So we will see equation for motional EMF. Okay, motional EMF we will see in two different ways. First, we have a conductor moving linearly. See, we have a frame like this. We have a frame, a closed frame. The frame is having a length L and let x be the breadth. Length L and x is the breadth. And one side of the frame is movable. See, this side PQ having a length L is movable. And on this surface we have magnetic field. So we can see the pattern into. See, the pattern into is indicating magnetic field is into the board. Perpendicular to the board but into, inward. So this sign, here we can say magnetic field is inward. Capital B is inward. Inward, not only inward, and perpendicular. And perpendicular to plane of board. Okay, perpendicular to plane of the board. So we have magnetic field like this. That's the direction of magnetic field. It is directed inward. Okay, it is directed inward. We have the conductor PQ. The PQ is moving like this. So it is starting from here. It is moving to this side. Okay, when it is moving this side, what happens is there is magnetic field perpendicular to it inward. So it will cut all the magnetic field lines. There is a change in magnetic field lines. Magnetic flux. See, the area is actually decreasing. Okay, initially this was the area enclosing the magnetic flux. Now the area enclosing goes on decreasing. This decrease will produce an induced EMF. See, what's the equation of induced EMF? We have E is equal to, general equation is d phi by dt. Okay, what is the flux? See, if this is the area, what is the area? Length into breadth, L into F. We have equation of flux is equal to B into A. We have a uniform magnetic field. So B into A is a flux. What is the area? Area is equal to L into X. We can write area is equal to L into X. Substituting, you will get flux is equal to B into L into X. Okay. So what is induced EMF? Induced EMF is equal to d by dt of what we will write, B into L into X. Now in this we have B and L are constant values. The length of conductor and magnetic field are constant. We can take outside. So what will be the E? Induced EMF is equal to B L into dx by dt. So what does dx by dt indicate? Dx by dt is the change in position, change in this distance with respect to time. This is corresponding to what? The velocity. The velocity of the movement of conductor. So what we can write is equal to B L into B. This equation for what? The EMF induced in a straight conductor when it moves in a magnetic field such that the conductor cut the magnetic flux. Okay, this is the induced EMF. Now we have one more option. Suppose we have the conductor like this, L length. Here we have a magnetic field. Suppose we rotate like this. See, we are rotating the conductor like this. When we rotate the conductor also, EMF can be induced. Okay, so during rotation, this is during linear motion. Now during rotation of conductor, we will see during rotation of conductor, we can use the same equation. We have the equation A is equal to BLV. Okay, suppose we are rotating like this. So it is now this is a new position. It is rotating like this. It is undergoing rotation. Let omega be the angular velocity. Omega is the angular velocity of rotation. Angular velocity. Let L be the length. Means we can compare it as a radius. Let V be the linear velocity of circular rotation. Linear velocity. What is the relation connecting V and omega? We have learned in circular motion that V is equal to R omega. Okay, V is equal to R omega. Now, what is the velocity? Now, we need to, instead of R, we can use L. L is the length of the conductor. V is equal to L into omega. L is equal to radius. Now, we know that when we move the conductor like this end of the conductor is almost at rest. This conductor is only moved. Okay, so this conductor has this portion. The center portion has velocity 0. This has the maximum velocity region. Now we can take the average velocity. Here 0 velocity, we are moving it uniformly. Here we have velocity v. What's the average velocity? It is 0 plus v, the whole divided by 2. So we will get the average velocity to be, see average velocity to be 0 plus v divided by 2. What is the answer? V, we have a value L omega divided by 2. This is the average velocity. Here we use the average velocity. Okay, what will you get? Is equal to, we will get d into L omega by 2. So what is the answer? Induced EMF is equal to half BL square omega. This is the equation for induced EMF when we rotate a conductor of length L with angular velocity omega in a magnetic field B. This is the equation that we are going to get. Okay. So we have seen electromagnetic induction, we have seen Faraday's law, Lenz's law, then a few important relations. Then we have seen motional EMF during the straight movement of the conductor as well as during the rotational movement of the conductor in a magnetic field. Now we can see one numerical problem related to this Lenz's law. Okay, I will show one example. See, we have a circular coil like this. It is a side view of the circular coil. Okay, we have the side view. I have placed a capacitor here. This is the plate P of the capacitor. This is Q. We have a north pole of a magnet is approaching. A north pole of a magnet having P lines in this direction is approaching. It is coming towards this. Okay, we need to find the polarity of the capacitor. Which plate will be positively charged and which will be negatively charged. We need to find out. So, since N is approaching, see this end, the facing end, we need a north pole. Okay, so we need a north pole at this facing side. We need a north pole. For north pole, to repel this north pole, we need a north pole. For north pole, we need a current should start to flow in anti-clockwise direction. See, if it is the anti-clockwise direction, this is the anti-clockwise direction looking from this side. This is the anti-clockwise direction. See, I can say in this direction current will be flowing. Okay, this is the direction of current. When in this direction current is flowing, electrons should flow in opposite direction. From which direction? See, current is flowing from P to Q. Electrons flow from Q to P. Electrons flow from P to Q. Then what about current? Current is from, current is flowing from P to Q. Electrons flow from Q to P. Electrons from Q to P. Current is from P to Q. P to Q. Okay. Electrons are flowing from Q to P. Current is in anti-clockwise direction. So, current is flowing from P to Q. Electrons in opposite direction, that is Q to P. Electrons flowing from Q to P. See, for the metal plate Q, it lost a few electrons. See, the electrons are flowing from Q to P. The metal Q will lose a few electrons. See what will happen. The metal Q, since they are losing electrons, it will be positively charged. And these electrons are accumulated on the plate P. The plate P will be negatively charged. So what is the polarity now here? P will be negatively charged and Q will be positively charged. This is the condition. Okay. So this easily we can explain with the help of Lenz's law. It's according to Lenz's law. Now, how can you understand the direction induced EMF? To understand the direction induced EMF, we have Fleming's right hand rule. According to Fleming's right hand rule, The forefinger indicate direction of magnetic field. Then the thumb indicate direction of movement. Then the middle finger indicate direction of induced EMF. Okay, so right hand thumb rule we can, Fleming's right hand rule we can use for understanding direction of induced EMF. See, the forefinger is indicating direction of a magnetic field, the external uniform magnetic field. The middle finger indicate direction of induced current. Thumb indicate direction of the movement of the conductor. Okay. I hope that you have understood. We have seen a few topics related to the concept electromagnetic induction. Okay. Thank you.